West, y'all.
I think it depends what program you use after to stitch them together.
Yeah.
Because what do you use? Because I use Vegas Pro.
We've been using we used to use Final Cut, and we used a bunch of things over the years, but recently we've been using DaVinci.
DaVinci. Oh,
yeah, okay. It's like it's free as well.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good and pretty like easy to kind of figure out.
Is that on the Mac?
Yeah, it's on Mac and PC.
All right.
Yeah.
DaVinci. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll try that one.
Yeah.
For video editors.
Suda kind of found that and was like, oh, it's just more or less the same as the last one we were using.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I like upgraded my Mac, and then I like had Final Cut Pro, and then it's like, because I upgraded my Mac, I needed Final Cut Extreme, or it was something different, and the old one wouldn't work on my computer, and I was like, damn, like yeah, and it was like $800 or something to buy it, and I was like, oh
shit.
And then Suda was like, oh, I found this free one. Yeah.
Because I'm looking for something that will cut my time in half, my post-production time, you know?
Yeah, the one thing about DaVinci is it buffs hard out.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so like when you're like editing, sometimes you're like blind editing, because it's like when you play it, it's like it's buffering or it's slow.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the only down point to the program, but
yeah, with the one I use, Vegas Pro, like it stitches the segments fine.
Yeah,
it just takes half an hour.
Yeah,
to do that, and then you gotta start doing your editing after that.
Yeah, like even importing and exporting. You're like, oh, editing's hard enough without all the extra.
It's half the work, man. Because once you do the podcast, that's all fine. That's all fun and that.
Yeah.
But then when you get to trying to put them up,
and then you got to wait for it to be loaded on YouTube once you're finally finished.
And then you get the copyright warnings and all that stuff, and you. Man, because I had this, we had this in the beginning of our YouTube videos. We've got a little segment where we've got some background music.
Oh yeah,
and we've never been held up on that before until just recently.
Oh, they're really hard out on copyrights now, eh?
Yeah. So but it wasn't like a ban; like you could still use it.
Yeah.
It would just come up with the warning.
Yeah.
But then when I went to the website, because it says, if you go to the original, you can click on it and go to the original. So I went to the original.
Yeah.
And then the guy that owned it, he goes, I'm just want to say that I just want to make sure that everyone knows that it's mine. Yeah. But you can use it.
Oh, yeah.
But the copyright warning will still come up.
Yeah, it's weird, eh? Like,
I was like, so
even like on Facebook, if you're like, you make a video and music's playing in the background, it will like delete or mute your video.
Yeah, it'll pick it up.
It's so weird now, because I can't see like how that's like a copyright infringement. It actually isn't, but I think all the laws have changed, like something crazy now where like you can't even listen to music. Well, I can understand if you like put up a video and you're using someone else's beat in the background, like that's understandable, but just all these new laws are just crazy, man. Like, yeah, you have to be really careful, or your video is going to get deleted, and then your YouTube channel is going to be terminated. Because of like a mistake,
Yeah, that's right. You get those free strikes now. But I remember when we had DJ 651 on, and he was talking about how they get done too.
Yeah.
But there's tricks around it, like with DJs like mixing their music, putting it on YouTube.
Yeah.
They get in court as well.
Oh yeah, because none of the music would be owned by them, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
so one of the tricks I heard was that they have a longer intro to get past a certain mark.
Oh yeah, because it's all monitored by people, right?
Yeah. So the algorithm will stop picking up stuff after a certain amount of time or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they still do that to get around that part, but it's interesting, because we also talked about how aren't we doing the artist a service? Like,
exactly.
If we're showing it to people,
you're like giving them free promotion, aren't you?
Yeah. Aren't we showing you like this is a song? Remember this guy singing the song?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I always said that too. Like just listening to someone's song and then like your video gets deleted. Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Because with your guys' YouTube page with your 1 ounce stuff. Do you guys get caught with copyright stuff?
Yeah, we've had like it's happened by accident a bunch of times. Like we played the Bros song in the intro, and we forgot to ask him if the beat was original, and then it wasn't, and that whole event was like we couldn't monetize that event. Yeah, just little things like that. The DJ starts playing the music too soon before we're doing the outro, and then they're like, oh, you know, try to take our video down. We've had not suitable for monetization because of like inappropriate language and stuff like that, which is really hard out now. Like you upload the video and it's like instantly goes orange or red.
Yeah.
You're like, because I always click, yeah, it's suitable, you know. And it was weird because from the last event, the one video that was like unmonetizable was like the compliment battle, which is like a battle that had absolutely no swearing in it. And a compliment battle is where they compliment each other, and that happened, and I was like, does YouTube even know what they're doing? You know, like,
what did they get banned for? I don't know.
For inappropriate language.
But it was no swearing.
But there was, yeah. So I'm like, and all the other battles are like straight disses, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I think the algorithms they put out there to capture, to try and stop like hate speech and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get it wrong, eh?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They might put words together. Oh, hang on, this guy is hate. This is hate speech, but it's not really, because it's like.
And the whole thing with battle rap is like it's a sport, and it's like a thing that people are really like supportive. Like all the battlers are sweet with each other. Like they do say a lot of the times they say really like nasty things to each other, but then they always shake hands, and like hardly any of the battlers like dislike each other nowadays. Like there's no like hate there. It's just like part of battle rap. So I kind of feel like YouTube needs to kind of understand that as well, that it's like, you know, when you watch battle rap, you're like, oh my God, but it's not actually, that's just part of the act, you know, of being a battle rapper.
If it's not YouTube, what do you guys use in the other platform?
We've tried to upload to like Facebook, which didn't really work out too well.
I think they're worse than YouTube, Facebook, isn't it?
Yeah. And we've used when we've sold our, like, we sell our videos for like a month or so before we put them on YouTube. So we used to use Vimeo.
Oh yeah.
To do like our pay-per-views. Yeah.
I heard Vimeo is pretty lenient there when it comes to.
Yeah, but they also like they tax and they charge. So like you're getting like less than half the money you earn. And then you also have to pay like a yearly membership to have Vimeo.
Oh, okay.
So it just kind of come to a point where it was like not really worth it.
Right.
Like, yeah.
So,
and now YouTube has that option, and I think they take like 30% or something like that. Yeah. So it's a lot better.
So where is the one ounce culture now? We've had COVID, and we've sort of like gone through that, and you were saying to me before we could jump on the mics that affected you guys. Yeah.
It's died down a lot. Like before COVID, we had been on a roll. We had maybe 10 events that were just like amazing. You know, we do like kind of how we set things up. We do big events, we do smaller events, but we were just on a roll. We were snowballing. We had internationals. We had old school versus new school, where it was like all the guys that had been around for years battled all the new guys. So we had B Team versus ODT, PFAC versus Scholar, you know. We had got internationals, like we've got 3 dudes from America, Disaster, the biggest international we've had, probably the biggest name in battle rap. And we had Chilla Jones booked to battle PFAC. And that's when we went into our first lockdown.
Right.
So, like, the event was meant to be, like, a week away. And Jacinda announces, we didn't even understand what COVID was. We didn't even understand what lockdown was. Me and Suda were like, we'll be all right, you know. This is going to last 3 days, you know. ends up being, you know, on and off 3 years. And we had one event between. We went into lockdown the very next day after our revival event, which was like, so we were so lucky there. And we just had our lockdown event like a month ago, and it was fun, but it just wasn't what it used to be, you know? So we've lost followers, lost views, you know? I feel like the battlers probably won't admit this, but they kind of can't promote battle rap like they used to. I just say because, like, me, myself, like, I don't hang out with all my mates like I used to before COVID. So to kind of be like, hey, bro, it's been 3 years. You should come to my event, you know? It's kind of like awkward.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of people have, like, people who are fans of one outs have, like, just gone into a different direction in life. A lot of people have had kids. A lot of people have moved out of Auckland. So, like, a big part of the reason we've lost fans is just because people are doing different stuff now. And I feel like, as I say, I feel the battlers will never be like, oh, it's really hard to sell tickets now, you know? But it is. It's just a fact. And it's just something we have to kind of work with and more or less start again and rebuild. Yeah.
To me, it seems like that can be done because the way you guys started it and came up, like it actually started the culture, right?
Yeah.
So it could be done again if it was done before. Like people are still into that. So were you surprised at the first lot of turnouts and when you guys first started? I mean,
yeah. When we first started, it was like we started one outs to more or less fill a gap, fill a void. The Battle of Supremacy, which was like the freestyle battles over beats, it just like ceased to exist. And there was a bunch of, like, me, myself included, there was a bunch of battle rappers that, like, had nothing to do. And we're like, me and a few of the boys were like, we hard out watched, like, Grind Time, which was, like, an American battle league back then. And we were like, we should do this, you know? And I was never, like, the leader back then, you know? I was, like, the guy that was kind of like, nah, we can't do this. This is like, well, this is hardcore. Like, you know, like I wasn't a hater, but I was like a doubter, you know. And the other bros were like, all we need is a camera, you know. And we had Devastator back then, who was like, I can film, you know, I can edit. And we just started asking people like, you want to battle? And they were keen, you know. And we done events in parks, and it was like, some of the people that were turning up was like, how are these people finding out about this? You know, like a lot of the people there we knew, but then some of the people were like, whoa, like the word was really getting out there, you know?
So what year was this when you guys started?
I think it was like 2011 when we started.
Right.
Yeah.
What was going on in hip hop culture back then? Do you remember? I can't remember because I'm from the 90s hip hop.
Yeah, and that's when hip hop was pumping, like Boost Mobile tours and all of that. And in the hip hop game, there wasn't really too much going on,
especially in battle format.
Yeah, all over. Like, all the labels had kind of fallen off. Like, Decons, David Dallas, Scribe, like all those guys that were doing like gigs all the time weren't really doing too much. Like, and yeah, there wasn't really much going on in hip hop and in battle rap, you know. So
yeah,
there was definitely like a gap to be filled, and we never expected it to become like anything bigger than a bit of fun.
Because I remember reading an article, I don't know if it was in Herald or the listener, talking about how it was the golden years for New Zealand music, right?
Yep.
Hip hop and even rock music and stuff like that. So, and one of the biggest factors that I read was they stopped the funding.
Yeah, I think Boost Mobile was like the main funding for like the summit and all of those events back then. Like, they were amazing. The Fubar, and we just kind of didn't realize like what we even had back then, you know.
Fubar's on top of Queen Street, on the corner.
Kind of like the middle-ish. Yeah, and the top was Kuja Lounge.
Kuja, that's
the one upstairs.
Kuja Lounge,
yeah,
Kuja Lounge.
Yeah, Like, yeah, there was mean venues in that back then, you know. So
yeah, I remember that one because you had to walk up those stairs.
Yeah.
And then get up there. And it looks like a bit dodgy when you're walking up the stairs. Then there's a nice, cool little bar. And some live music and stuff.
Yeah, we done an event there. Like, it was one of our like first indoor events. Yeah. And 420 as well was the main club. Yeah. So
what was that one?
K Road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They used to like have. That's where the Battle of Supremacy was, and they used to have gigs there and stuff. And
at the Galatos as well.
Galatos, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Galatos is a bit bigger though, you know. So
yeah. So you know when you guys first started in 2011, like because it was just you and your mates that started.
Yeah, it was like.
So who was into that format of hip hop?
Really, no one. Like, just the people who were like watching Grind Time with us. You know, we got like a whole lot of like, bro, where's the beat? Like, I'm not entering. This is whack, you know? Where's the beat? And then, like, when we started dropping it on YouTube, we were getting all the comments were like, where's the beat? Yeah. This sucks, you know, like, for ages.
But was that the American version with no beat?
So America kind of started the a cappella battle rap format.
Yeah.
And, New Zealand, like, just how New Zealand is, it was just like, everyone was like, where's the beat? Yeah. This is whack, you know?
Because I bet you, because I know what year 8 Mile came out, but that probably kicked off a lot of things. But they had a beat on 8 Mile. Yeah. So it was a different kind of. The first time I ever saw a cappella battle rap was when I saw Kevin Hart do his little comedy.
Is it like Chocolate Drop? Or?
Yeah, Chocolate Drop. Yeah. And you know what? I thought it was making fun of it.
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't real.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a real thing that you could battle rap a cappella.
Yeah.
And because Kevin Hart was the first one I saw do that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like sort of like he was making fun of something. I didn't know it was a real thing.
Yeah.
But it is a real thing.
Yeah. It's like massive in like America, Canada, UK, and even places in Asia, Africa as well. Like the Philippines has a Flip Top Battle Rap League, which is like kind of dormant at the moment, but they have it in huge factories. There's thousands of people there. You don't understand a word they're saying. The crowd just goes crazy. They upload a battle. It gets like 5 million views in a week. Like, it's crazy over there. Russia as well. Yeah. There's a lot of... it used to just be like UK, Canada, and America, but there's a bunch of other places now that do it too. Oh, Germany as well, yeah.
So these places obviously suffered with COVID as well. Yeah. Are they having the same problems you guys have? Like, have to come back up? Or?
Not so much, because they already, like... Established business, like massive followings, massive social media followings. So, but they obviously are affected, but not as much, you know, like, because they probably just went from making, like, hundreds of thousands of dollars to tens of thousands of dollars, you know. So, that probably sucks for them, but... I think, you know, smaller leagues are affected way more, you know. Yeah.
So when you guys were first starting out, like, what kind of, like, obviously you guys watched the American stuff, but what was the process in organizing, like, how to produce one, like how to produce a battle between people, and who makes up the rules, or did you copy the rules from overseas? And
more or less just copied the rules. Like, the rounds were like a minute back then, so like the battles were super short. Toki Cones, I think, was the person who kind of used to set up a lot of the battles back then, and like ask, "Oh, do you want to battle? And do you want to battle this person?" And then we had dudes like Scholar enter, and we're like, "Whoa! Like this is becoming serious." Like, they came with some gangster shit, you know. We're like, "Whoa!" Like. And it was like, you know, usually when someone comes and they like do some gangster rap, they usually suck, you know. But these dudes came through and they were like awesome, you know, and they're like doing some South Auckland styles, and we're like, whoa, like these dudes are mean, you know. And we're like, oh, this, you know, this could become something big. Because in the start it was kind of like your mum's fat. And you do farts that smell a lot, and, you know, stuff like that. A lot of toilet humor, you know. Yeah. And then we had dudes like entering and just like barring out, and we're like, whoa, like,
Man, that's so cool, man. And you guys started at the parks, eh? Like
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
around West Auckland.
Yeah, we did Te Pai. We did a bunch of battles at Basque Reserve, which is like in town. And our first event was North Shore. Right. It's like there's a skate park and a park that was like Box Cutter's house was there. There was a fence there. You just walk through the gate and the park's there. I can't remember the exact name of the park, but yeah, that's where our first event was, and it was there because like Box Cutter's house was like right there. You know, we're like, oh, let's just do it here. We're hanging out there. We're like, oh, let's do it here.
Yeah. And it was all just through social media, through Facebook, just getting people to follow and just saying where the event is and see you guys there.
And it was like, it started slow but started popping off, and it was better back then because there wasn't all the rules around, all the algorithms to kind of stop you promoting anything, you know? So I was just like, would like make a status and be like, and it was like just easier to like set up battles then because people were like hella hungry, you know? We'll be like, do you want to battle? And then they'll be like, yeah, I'll battle anyone, you know? Like nowadays you're like, do you want to battle? And they're like, oh, I'll only battle this person or that person, you know? Like,
oh, really?
Before it was so easy. It was just like you took names, you set up matchups, and then you had an event like sorted in like a day or two, you know? Yeah.
Did you guys have first prize and all that kind of stuff? Or was it just, bragging rights?
It just started like, and that's the thing about when it started, like Spearman was like the main guy, and I was like one of the best battlers in the league. And at the second event, I battled Devastator, who was like the second best battler. And I was saying like, we need to build this up. And me versus Devastator is going to be like the championship on the 5th event or something. And Spearman was like, no, we need really good battles. And like the best two guys had to battle each other at the second event. But I guess it worked out because then like other talent started coming through. Like after seeing like me, Devastator, D&D versus Toki Cones, Mind Molesters versus DMN, you know, like that was more or less the second event, which had like 3 really good battles on it. So I guess people saw that and they're like, oh, I want to enter this, you know? Yeah.
Oh, wow. So is it set up like a tournament kind of thing, like a bracket?
Yeah, and now it's more like that. Like we have a championship, and we kind of like face people off against like winners battle winners. Losers, if they still do well, they get to keep battling, but like if you like get bodied, you might have to take a break, you know? So there's not exactly a bracket, but we have like a champion, we have a number 1 contender, we have guys who don't want to go for the belt for certain reasons, but then we have like guys that are like next in line for an international and that. So there's definitely like a ranking system, but it's just not on paper really.
You know what's cool about that, or what you're describing, is that it's crossing over to like more like sports now.
Yeah, like battle rap is recognized in a lot of places as a sport.
Wow.
Yeah, so and that's what I say, like when people are like, oh, I don't want to battle him because he's my friend, or like, you know, he knows my cousin and he knows all the stuff. I'm like, bro, when you play for White Matter, do you say like, oh, I'm not going to play Northcote this week because like I used to go to Northcote Primary, you know, like, yeah. So that's how I kind of be like, you know, to make it to the top, you've got to kind of take those battles and take those chances and opportunities, or it might set you back, you know. Yeah.
How exciting was that for you guys? I mean, for you guys to create something and just popping off like that, because I picture like you guys, man, so like this was so cool. And
it is, but at the same time, it's like it's almost like you don't even notice. Like people are like
the hard work. You don't notice the hard work.
You don't even notice like the you know, the attention you're getting, and like people are like, oh, you're doing so well, bro, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, it's just become life, you know.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I can't believe you booked Disaster, and I was like, oh, he's our friend now, you know. Like, yeah, it's just become a way of life, really. Yeah.
So how did that start with the overseas stuff? Because these established battle rappers overseas that recognized, or did you reach out to them?
Yeah, a bunch of them started like recognizing New Zealand, and like commenting on our stuff and saying like, I'd love to come to New Zealand. And we had like reached out to a bunch of people who like didn't even open our messages.
Yeah.
Like honestly, it took Disaster like years to be like, oh, I just saw this. I don't even use Facebook. He's like, you should have messaged me on Twitter. And I was like, no one in New Zealand uses Twitter, you know? Like, yeah, so it took years for them to like kind of even realize that we wanted, you know, especially Disaster. He doesn't use like the same social media platforms we use. So like we were like, oh, this guy must hate us. Why is he not replying to us, you know? Yeah.
But even getting those guys seems like, you know, you guys reached another level of what you guys have started, you know?
Yeah.
So does a guy like that pay to come here on his own money? Or?
No, we paid him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we paid like his flights, we paid his accommodation, and we paid his fee.
Oh, wow.
Which was like highly discounted. And it's probably a big part of the reason why we've only had like 3 guys from America, because a lot of the guys are like, they want like $10,000 or more. They want you to fly their friend over as well, you know, like
the entourage, or their boys,
and we've kind of like booked people who, I don't know if it's taking advantage, but people who like want to come to New Zealand for a holiday and not pay and have spending money while they're here, you know, because a lot of the other guys who like are famous, they don't care. They don't care if we have to like get a mortgage on our house to book them. They don't care. They don't care if we go broke. So we kind of booked people who care about that kind of stuff and want to come to New Zealand and want, you know, to help the battle rap culture in whole, you know. Yeah.
Man, that must have been stressful too.
Yeah.
You know, just to have you guys have your finances on the line like that.
Yeah. Because even like though we booked people who were cheaper, it still costs a lot of money, you know. So it's like.
So these guys come from LA, New York, or?
Disaster's from LA. Caustic's from San Francisco, and Uno Lavos is from New York. And funny story about Uno Lavos is that he missed one of his flights, and he was like, "Man, I missed my flight, and you're gonna have to pay $700 or I can't come." And I was like, "What?" Like, it was crazy. And I'm like, he's like, and I need a hotel because I'm gonna be stuck in this airport for the night. And I was like, well, that's on you, bro, you know. Yeah. And then I rang the airport, and they were like, he walked in like he was a celebrity, half an hour late, and the gates were closed, and he was like telling us to open the gates for him and say, "Do you know who I am?" Like, and we had to pay for his flight, and it was crazy. We're like, he was from New York, so we had to fly him to like LA, I think, and then we had to fly him to Australia, and then to Auckland. Yeah. So his flights alone cost like close to $4,000, and then he's like, "Oh, we need another $700 and a hotel room." And I was like, damn, like, he was actually the nicest guy, but I was like, man, I don't like this dude already. You know?
So did these guys all come at once for one event? Or
no, like over the years, yeah.
Oh, over the years, so they're like, sort of like headline.
Yeah, they'll be like the main event, and they'll battle a person who's like earned that battle for like, you know, they've battled for like years to kind of, that's like a payment to the best guy in New Zealand to get to face someone from like America or another country. Yeah. All
right. No, that's cool. Because when I think about American guy coming, like, you got to put it into context, and they probably don't know nothing about New Zealand or Auckland.
Yeah, like we have to teach them, like,
so they can have some content.
Yeah, like when they get here, they're like, "Oh, teach me some stuff about New Zealand," you know? Yeah. And if you watch Scholar versus Disaster, man, Disaster like did his homework. Right. Like he stayed here a while. He stayed here for a week, I think, and he learnt some of the stuff that he said while he was here, but a lot of it he wrote himself, and it was like about Samoan culture. He used Samoan words. He pronounced most of them properly, you know, like it was crazy. And if you see his other battles, where he battles in other countries, he like speaks Spanish, he speaks German, like he really does his homework, and that's a big part of the reason why we wanted Diz. He done South O Te Langi, like the savage chant in that, like yeah, it was crazy, like yeah.
And that's what you said before. You want these guys that are committed to the art.
Yeah,
and these are the guys we want.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like
that's me.
Caustic was kind of like, oh, I'm not prepared. Like he was still mean, but like he got here and he was like, I'm not prepared. I always prepare the night before, and I was like, oh no. I was like, oh man, like we spent all this money and he didn't, but we're thinking, oh, he's gonna choke, But that's how some people do it. Also, they prepare like the week or the night before, which is crazy,
Obviously, this must have been the peak or the heyday of your guys' 1 ounce.
Yeah.
During the years, but so how often a year? What was a year like in the calendar year? How many events? And
we used to do like 4 events per year, and like when 1 ounce started, we could do like an event per month almost. But as like it grew, people were like, oh, I need more time, like, yeah. And I feel like a lot of the battles from the start, like they went viral because it was like someone really good against someone really bad.
Right.
And people just like used to watch them and crack up, and now it's like 2 really good people against each other, so they probably do deserve more time to prepare.
Wow. So, man, how many? So at the peak of it, how many battle rappers do you think there were? Because was it so big that you had to like turn away some people?
Oh
too many?
Definitely.
Damn.
Yeah, we've had to be like, oh, sorry, bro, you can't be on this card. Like, we're never like, oh, you're not good enough, but we've had to kind of be like, oh, sorry, this is like, we're looking at like the best of the best, and like we've never been stink to anyone. But also the guys understand, because there's like also like an unspoken system, and it's called the tier system, where it's like top tier, mid tier, and low tier.
Right.
So everyone kind of knows what tier they're in without being told. So like all we kind of have to say is like, this is top tier only, this event, and then we'll do like smaller events where the people who have been missing out get a chance to kind of become, top tier or mid tier. And I think that helps them be hungry as well,
So do you think that would have been a goal for you guys, to have those tiers, have proper competitions for them?
Yeah.
Like you have a 3rd tier, if you're the champion then you move.
Yeah, that would be really good, but I kind of feel like myself, I would need more help. Yeah. Like I've got Suda. We used to have quite a big staff team, and people just kind of moved on with life and bought houses and, got really hardcore jobs and had kids and that, and just kind of like disappeared. So Suda's kind of like the tech guy. He does like the editing. He like sets up like the mics and the cameras and that. And I'm pretty much doing everything else, So I'd love, like, there's no limit to where I want to take it, but I kind of feel like it's at that point now where I would need some help, to kind of pick things up and change certain things.
It feels like that way. It feels like that way where it could be even bigger than it was.
Yeah.
Because when you start having a conversation like when it crosses into sports, man, that's a whole new different ball game. Because you can have like you can document these events like a sporting event.
Yeah, and
like we have like we have sport articles like how they have, in the newspaper, the sports section.
Yeah.
You can have articles writing about the event.
Yeah, we just had a guy at our last event turn up, and he like interviewed people. He's like some of the battlers' friends, and he's like uploaded it to his own channel, and that was really cool doing that. But I kind of want to talk to him about becoming like the 1 ounce guy to do that, because as you say, like sport, like NRL, for example, rugby league, my favorite sport, and they change their rules every year now, like, so it would be really good to have like a battle rap commission where like we kind of sit down, sort out ways to make things better, rules and such. It would be really cool. But I just kind of feel like it's almost like before COVID, of course, it's almost like a full-time job, you know, just running events and being the boss of it. So I'd love to have some help there, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's got the potential, especially with with journalism, you know, because if like I said before, like crossover the sports, there's a whole new different arena there that you can tap into. You know, you can have like websites, you can have articles about it. You can talk up these guys and blast them out on platforms.
Yeah,
make them feel like they mean something.
Yeah, in America and Canada, they definitely have that.
You know?
They have specialized people where that's their job. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so it's almost like you said, it's a league, right? You could make it like a real league.
Yeah.
Like a proper, like a WWE or something like that, you know?
Yeah,
like,
and that's what I say a lot. And like
bring the fan base.
Yeah.
Like try develop the fan base and
yeah,
to get stories out there. And
yeah, and a lot of the battlers like hate when I say like battle rap is a lot like wrestling. Because I've always loved wrestling since I was a kid. My son loves wrestling now, and they're like, wrestling's fake and blah, blah, blah. Like, man, that's what you got to do, man. You got to be entertaining. You're like, not just battle. You've got to like do these, like, make these little promo videos where you're acting extremely crazy, charismatic, showing mannerism, you know, like that's all a big part of it. And I feel like that's a part of battle rap that's missing at the moment. It's like, like the vlogs and the pre-battle hype and all of that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man.
Yeah.
Like that could happen. And it's interesting too, because you know times have changed with technology and that, and the way media is going is changing as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think, like, you know, people probably bored of reading the same kind of sports articles, but so the change is to write a different point of view.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Like go back to writing stuff that people can read and think, oh, but I've never read something like this before in this perspective.
Yeah, it's crazy the amount of people who do know about 1 ounce, but also the amount of people who don't. Like hip hop fans in New Zealand that be like, oh, I've never heard of this. And I'm like, damn, like
even hip hop fans, eh?
Yeah, like we're like, damn, we should, you know, we need to find more ways to get our name out there, you know? Yeah.
You know, with 1 ounce and that's sort of like a subculture of hip hop.
Yeah.
But it's almost like it's also a subculture of battle rap. It's on its own. It's not. There's battle rap, and then there's you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's the beat one, like the 8 Mile style, Notorious B.I.G. and all that.
Yeah.
Like doing the battles on the street.
Yeah.
With a beat in the background, but then you guys are different, eh? The 1 ounce.
Yeah.
But that's almost like a whole big thing.
Yeah, and there is a cappella battle rap all around the world, but it is like a subculture, and it is quite niche as well. Like, as I was saying before, a lot of people, where's the beat? You know, like a lot of people just can't get into it.
Yeah,
yeah.
Is it like is there like kind of a divide where the beat guys look at you guys and go, nah, we don't. That's not. Or, and vice versa.
Yeah,
nah, you should try this, man, because it's all about the words. It's not about the beat.
Isn't really like freestyle over beats isn't really a thing anymore. But there's like been this like weird thing between like hip hop artists and battle rappers, like where like battle rappers are like, oh, battle rap is the most technical form of writing, and then like the musicians are like, psh, you know, like there's not a beef there, but there's something there where it's like they're almost clashing against each other when I feel like it will be way better if we work together, you know, like as I said to you earlier, we've had a bunch of people come through to our events and host with us, King Cap's one, you know, so there is the support there, and I'm friends with like a bunch of people who are musicians, like Four Corners, who was like my favorite hip hop group back in the day, you know, like I talked to Koma and that, like I know like all the hip hop acts, but there's not with the people I know and I'm friends with, but there's a divide there, and I find it really weird because like we're all on the same mission, you know.
Yeah, It's almost like pure hip hop. Because if you think about acapella, it's all about the words.
Yeah.
Like there's no beat, so you're concentrated on the words itself.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny because sometimes the bars don't rhyme. Is that a red flag or not?
It depends, because there are certain people who like don't rhyme and they kind of get laughed at.
Yeah.
And that's like their style. But there's also like a style of like it's like word association and scheming, which they almost do it on purpose, and they like they associate words, or they do a scheme, like they'll do a scheme about a cell phone, and then they'll mention like Vodafone and 2 degrees and blah 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 blah, and it won't exactly rhyme, but it is really popular in battle rap.
Yeah.
Like the crowd like goes crazy, and like a lot of the older dudes are like,
What?
bro, that doesn't rhyme, you know? Like, yeah. So it is kind of weird, but it's a newer style in battle rap.
Yeah.
Yeah, when even myself, when I hear it, I'm like, oh, that doesn't rhyme. And then I'm like, oh, he's doing that thing.
It works out at the end of the day.
Yeah, so I still end up screaming my head off, you know, but yeah.
Who's some of the memorable guys? Is Steven Setzel one of them?
Yeah. Steven Setu's always been a guy that got attention for the right or the wrong reason. But as I was saying earlier about battle rap being like wrestling, he was really good at that, man. He was really good at creating controversy, gaining attention, having people talking about him, whether it's like, you know, a lot of people said, man, he sounds like an American. But then a lot of people said, man, that guy's got bars. He's really dope, you know? So I think that's like the main thing about being a battle rapper is getting people talking. And that's something he was really good at. And I think it shows in his views. Like he's got a bunch of battles that have over 10,000 views, which is quite, you know, you might think, 10,000 views isn't much. But in New Zealand battle rap standards, that's like what you'll call like a high viewed battle.
Yeah. Because the video I saw of him was when King Caps was the host.
Oh, yeah.
And he went handy on the other guy. I forgot the other guy's name.
I think he battled Mission, was it?
I can't remember. But his thing to what I got out of it when Steven was his turn, his storytelling ability.
Yeah, is that the one when he's like, what do you know about getting health insurance and living a life and working a really hard job, you know, like I think his third round was like some real life stuff. Yeah,
that's right. And it was sort of like an 8 Mile thing where, you know, at the end when Eminem like he disses himself, so the other guy got nothing to say. Yeah. He almost does that kind of style, like when he says things about himself and being fat and all that, like being big. Yeah.
And it worked because like Mission choked, right? Yeah. And Mission was like, before that, Mission was like one of the top new guys as well. So I guess it shows like if you stand in front of someone who's like kind of knows what they're doing, you know, a lot of the older guys are good at that, like breaking someone down. Yeah.
Because I really appreciate how hard they go and how offensive they get. Yeah. But yeah, like we were saying before, like at the end of it, they're shaking hands. Everyone appreciates it because it's how you put these words together. Because it's all about beating your opponent down.
That's the aim of the game. But then sometimes it's quite hard. It's quite hard to hear for certain fans when culture comes into it.
Oh, right.
When children have come into it. Being the battler myself, it has been quite hard to hear. So like when someone said something about my kids, I'm like, I grab my drink and I'm like,
shit.
It's a trick that the bro Pucks taught me. Pucks the general. He's like,
have a sip.
Whenever you get angry, bro, have a sip. And then like, I watched him after he said that. I watched him in the crowd and he had a bottle of water and it's like, I was battling someone and he's like, every line, he's like sipping his water. But yeah, when talking about that, names like Exceed come to mind, who's tiny, like 5 foot Indian guy who stepped on a Samoan flag while he was battling 6 foot Samoan from Otara.
And that was part of his act, like
Part of his act, and he's like, I'll step on the Samoan flag, and the dude was like, Kid Crude, who's Scholar's nephew, was like, you better not, and then he like stepped on it, and then he stepped off, and he's like, whoa, it's just a battle, bro. Like, I kind of feel like in battle rap, there's like an invisible line, and you know not to cross it, you know, and you know if you're crossing it, and I feel like Exceed crossed that line like every time he battled. He actually got attacked once during a battle.
Oh, wow.
He started a number of riots. He had to be snuck out the back door. Like, he was crazy, man. Like,
Yeah.
he done a line about the Kahui twins after they were, like, murdered by their parents and that. Like, yeah, he did a line about... it's actually the only time we've cut out a line. We muted a line. He did a line about the bro's kids who's actually a battle rapper, and his kids passed away, and he did a line about it. Like,
wow.
Yeah, he's an idiot is a way to explain it, but he also like used the platform to kind of say things he can't say in real life.
Right.
Yeah.
Like saying the N-word or something like that.
Even
right?
worse than that, like the stuff he did. But yeah, if you look him up, he's actually quite good at rapping, and he got heaps of views and that, but it was like so stressful for me being like the event promoter and like almost feeling like I had to protect him, you know, when he was almost like he was doing all of this on purpose, you know? Yeah, so it was crazy.
You know, when he does that sort of thing, you expect the comeback to be even worse. Because you talked about the invisible line, where you draw the line.
Yeah.
What's the invisible line overseas, and what you've heard overseas? How far do people get?
Yeah, in other leagues around the world, like, it does go pretty far. I feel like, not so much anymore, but I feel like in New Zealand, it's like, we've got a crowd that doesn't really like that, you know? More or less, like, I'm 6 foot, 100 and something kgs. More or less, everyone that comes to the events are bigger than me, you know? And it's like, yeah, a lot of people don't really understand that as well, or just like don't really agree with like the fact that battle rappers can say whatever they want. So a lot of the time battle rappers are kind of set off the crowd, and yeah, it becomes quite stressful. But just to answer the question, overseas, some stuff does get said that you're like, whoa, like, yeah.
Because when I think about political correctness, PC, when it comes into, it stops that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
See, because he's Indian, right? What's his name?
Yeah, Exceed.
Exceed?
Yeah.
See, if he's talking like that, then I would expect someone to talk back at him at the same level he's talking on his culture.
Yeah, the funny thing is he battled like Scholar and he battled Devastator, but this was kind of like back in the days before he did all of that stuff.
Right.
And they did like lines about like red dots on the forehead. And Devastator done this funny line that like he worked at the checkout and he was like doing the groceries and it was like beep, beep, beep. Like it was really funny. Yeah, like it's really funny when people give it back to him because he like deserves it, you know?
Yeah. But see, that's what I mean, because that sets the standard.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to go there, he's probably feeling, fuck, they got me with that.
Yeah.
I'll really come back or something.
Yeah.
So that creates the,
and
those levels.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like it's partially our fault because one of the mottos of 1 ounce is 1 ounce, say what you want. And Toki used to say it, he'd be like, say what you want. He'd like sing it. And that was like one of our like logos, mottos. And then I think a few people like took it literally and they're like, I can say whatever I like, you know, where, as I said, there's still that invisible line. Like I've written lines that I've thrown away and so I just can't say that, you know? Yeah.
So he's been like the extreme kind of. Was there events where it just got out of hand and there was a rumble?
Yeah.
Really? Man.
When he battled Mission, he said the line about the bro's kids and people were like running in to like fight him while the battle was still happening.
Shucks. So that's when you had to get him out the back door.
And that's the event Uno Lavos was there. So we had paid like thousands of dollars to get Uno Lavos there, and that was like the co-main event. and then the bar owners were like, we're closing down this event, you know, and we're like, oh please, like we had to like beg them to like be like, we're sorry about this guy, we just got one more battle, you know. It was crazy.
Far. So how are these American guys doing? Do you still keep in contact with them? And
I still talk to the bros, and I talk to like a bunch of guys that want to come here in the future.
Oh yeah.
And they're still famous, you know. They're still doing well.
And those leagues are still carrying on.
Yeah, but just not as big as they once were. But they do other stuff as well. Like Disaster's now acting. A dude who we want to book, Thesaurus, he's like a poker player in that. Like, yeah, like, and they like do like cameos in that. Like, they get paid to like go to someone's birthday or something like that. Like, some of these guys are actually famous, and their job is to be like a famous person, you know. So they're still all doing okay, you know. Yeah.
Shit. So 15th of October is was the last event.
Yeah.
And how good was that to get back on the horse and
it was good. We expected more, but like we still take it as a win to get a crowd.
Was that the first one after COVID?
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So how was the promoting for that one before the event? Like,
it was hard. Like, even the way, like, we usually do our stuff through Facebook.
Yeah.
And like we have Insta, we have our YouTube, and but Facebook's been like where we get the most hype and attention, and it's just not really like that anymore. Like, as I was saying, like the battlers don't really promote as much as they used to, and I find when they do, it's like they don't really gain much traction, and neither do we. And I suppose because like we sell a product, you know, we're like, come to our event, buy a ticket to our event, and now Facebook seems to have caught on to that, and it's almost like we're shadow blocked, you know? So, yeah.
And I think that's what we were talking about before with the sporting thing. Like, if there were more platforms to promote these guys, you know, not just social media, but you know, like articles and that, like stuff like that.
Yeah, and we've lost a lot of our following. Like, we were like heavily connected with the Australian scene, which ceases to exist these days.
Really?
Yeah, it's not really a thing anymore, and so like we lost support through them, and as I say, just a lot of people just aren't into battle rap, who would have been the people who would be like sharing our flyer and that. So and a lot of people just don't use Facebook anymore, do they? Like, like their page is gone, or they have their page and they haven't posted on their page in like 2 years or something, you know. So it is quite hard to get your name out there. I've been using TikTok,
right,
but I find like the same thing.
It depends how you use TikTok though.
Yeah,
TikTok's one of those like 10 seconds, 20 seconds kind of, or 2 minute kind of. Yeah. So you really gotta actually figure out a way to pump your content in 2 minute segments, sort of thing.
And that's the thing with it. They do have. It's weird, like, I'll upload snippets of battles, and I have little clips of battles that have thousands of hearts and tens of thousands of views, but then I'll make a video saying, come to our event, and it gets like 7 hearts, you know? So, almost like the same thing as what I was kind of talking about. Facebook, as soon as you're like trying to sell something, they're like, nope.
You know, before COVID, like we were talking about the tier 1, 2, and 3, and the event on the 15th of October.
Yeah,
was it still? Did you get guys from tier 1 coming?
It was more or less all top tier.
Oh, okay.
And
so they're the harder ones. They're the ones waiting for you guys to come back.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get back in.
Yeah, we had 2 battles that have been like years in the making.
Right.
And for whatever reason, those battles didn't happen. COVID, the battlers' life, you know, and then 2 of those battles happened, which was PFAC versus Damascus and JP80 versus Tracer. Then the other 4 battles were like all top tier people. The exception to the rule would be we had Locking Latu on the card, who isn't exactly top tier, but he's the most viewed battle rapper in like New Zealand battle rap history.
How come?
Because he was like not very good back in the days, and he'd done some battles that like they got shared like on international platforms. It was him versus Creative Mind in my driveway, which was like a battle we never thought like one outs would kind of get known for all around the world. It was just getting picked up by all these websites and uploaded. Like,
and it wasn't really good.
It was really bad.
Oh,
and
so were people picking up like it was a parody or something?
Yeah, they were like picking it up and dropping it as like, look at these guys, you know. And it got millions of views over like so many different platforms and websites. And now Locking Latu is actually good.
Yeah.
He's a West Auckland dude. He's from Ranui. And he's actually good, but I wouldn't exactly say he's top tier. But he's definitely
improved,
the most famous and most viewed battle rapper in like probably New Zealand battle rap history, even before One Ounce. Yeah.
So he was on that event.
Yeah, he did a compliment battle.
Oh right,
Yeah,
right.
And everyone loves Latu. Like he battled Dr. Apocalypse, who's like a lot better than Latu, and Latu probably won because the crowd like love him.
Oh,
you know? Yeah.
So it's like while the fans vote, like the louder the
the battles are promo, unless there's money or there's the title on the line. The battles are promo. So at the end of the battle, we say, because they go on YouTube, we say comment below who you think won, right. And then it just becomes like a general consensus where people at the event will be like, I watched this battle and blah, 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 won real well. And like, then once it goes on YouTube, people start commenting who they think won. And that's kind of like, we kind of know even before that, but then that's also like just gives us that extra, you know, yeah.
It sounds like, man, I really want you guys to come back up, so we guys were before.
Yeah.
Do you think it's due to changing in the environment? Like,
yeah, it's just like everything.
Because TikTok's here.
Yeah.
It's different. You know, I think TikTok is one of the most used social medias in New Zealand now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just like everything, like just COVID and battle rappers being busy, having like been like a lot of the good dudes are like, I can't do that date. Like now we have to kind of set an event around when everyone's free.
Or focus on the new guys or guys that want to get into it.
Yeah. I think what we need to do in the future is maybe start doing some free events again, you know, because there's only a certain amount of people who are paying for battle rap at the moment. So I think making money isn't important at the moment.
Or even going back to the roots, doing the parks.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking at. Yeah. Maybe doing like invitational events where like it's in a venue but it's free and we just invite people. We do free events in parks. Instead of selling pay-per-views, we just put them on YouTube, you know, like build hype instead of making money, because the state battle rap's in at the moment, it's not really worth booking an international. And that's all we really earn money for, is to save that money to book an international. And I think if we booked an international right now, it would be like throwing away, you know, $5,000 maybe, you know. So we need to build it up before we start doing that kind of stuff again. Yeah.
What sort of publicity were you guys getting from mainstream media before COVID? A lot or
not much? We've been on One News. They approached us and they turned up to one of our events and did like an article about us and filmed parts of our events and made this like video about, like, they interviewed me and they like filmed snippets of the battles, but they were like, you know, it's One News, they're like really out of touch. I was like, you may have seen 8 Mile, like kind of thing, you know? Yeah. So it was real great that they did that, but it was almost like they needed someone who kind of like had more knowledge on battle rap to kind of create and film that. Yeah. Yeah.
I was just had a thought about you guys' competition, because especially out west, you've got the Siren gang, the siren stuff. Do you get into that? Have you? Because that's a big thing.
Yeah. I seen the video on. It was like what's that dude's name? He does like a show, like the white dude with the glasses, and he wears Jordans and that. I can't think of his name.
With a beard?
Yeah.
Tim. Is it Tim?
Nah. He's like a comedian.
Yeah.
And he done like a segment on the sirens and that, and it's like it's a real big thing, eh? Like.
Yeah.
But when I hear that, I'm like, oh man, where's the bass?
Yeah. Because that got so big. Because that got big where they have events now.
Yeah,
and they battle those guys in a siren gang in Wellington.
Yeah. It's crazy how
proper.
it reminds me of when people used to do those whips. Remember that? They like do like the whips with the rope, and they're like, and they just stand on the road and just be like. Like,
I never saw that.
That's from like way back in the days, like early 2000s or something, and it was like going crazy, and like all the hoods, like Otara, Mangere, Ranui, like all the dudes had like their rope and they're like whipping it. Yeah, that's kind of what the sirens remind me of, like something that's like real viral, but I'm just like not. Maybe I'm too old.
Yeah. But I was like comparing the siren stuff to your guys' stuff, the 1 ounce, because that's something that kind of sort of came up from the streets.
Yeah.
And turned into like a league or turned into something.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I know it's they've been stealing the sirens from the schools, and I think they stole a siren from the bloody when there's a hurricane, there's a warning.
Oh yeah. Oh, that would be a loud one. Eh?
Those kind of things, eh?
I think my bros do the boom competitions.
Oh right.
Where they measure the decibels of your subs and that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bros. Shout outs to Reap FM, South Auckland radio station. And we used to kind of do battles there. They're doing like a bunch of like work within the community, like funding and stuff to help the youth and stuff like that. It's really cool what they're doing over there. Yeah.
Did you guys go on Base FM?
I have been on Base FM ages ago. It's just been taken over by Destiny Church.
Oh really?
Yeah, and my bro King Free, who's actually a battle rapper. He's part of Two Tangata, and he's got his own show on Base FM now.
Oh.
So I'm definitely going to be going in there and like chopping it up with him and talking about 1 ounce and playing music and stuff like that in the future. Yeah.
Where did the name come from? 1 ounce. Is that you guys invented that name?
Yeah. It kind of like started like it was called 1 ounce street battles because we used to do it in parks. But how it kind of came about was like it became like we were like trying to promote like non-violence, and a lot of people don't know this or don't understand, and they're like, oh, is this like a UFC, New Zealand UFC street fighting? And or like they're like kind of look at it like it's kind of like a violent name, but it's the complete opposite. It's like the pen is mightier than the sword.
Yeah.
And we like created the name 1 ounce to make this like a new way of fighting. Instead of people having a 1 out, they have like a battle against each other and they resolve like their thing without committing a crime type of thing, So, yeah.
You know what? You saying that and me coming back to the Indian guy. What was his name again?
Exceed.
Like, yeah, the pen is one and sword. Like, you shouldn't be offended with anything because it's just words. The alternative is like a punch up. Yeah, and no one wants a punch up.
Yeah, and a lot of people also said that.
Yeah.
And even like certain people, like I would have thought would have reacted the other way. Like Samoan dudes and shit were like, "Nah, man, let him do it, man. Let him say it." I was like, but then a lot of people, majority of people reacted the opposite way.
Yeah.
Because it was like, it was too much. Yeah.
And I think that comes from the PC stuff.
Yeah.
When they think it's too much. But it's just words at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard these days, this day and age. It wasn't when we were kids.
Yeah.
You can say anything you want, and no one,
Yeah.
you know, sticks and stones won't break my bones, but
Yeah.
words can never hurt me.
Yeah.
Like that saying is out the window these days.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't exist these days.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
And I think the kids now don't. When they hear that, like, hey, nah, words do hurt.
Yeah.
But nah, it's just words.
Yeah.
Like that's the attitude, right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, so it doesn't matter what you say.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like it should be like that, but I feel like there is like a handful or lesser people or less that kind of did cross that line and made it really hard for us. You know, we're like standing there and we're like, oh my God. Especially like with, you know, like Pacific, Māori. I'm part Māori myself. My kids are, you know, half Pacific. And like just really big people, you know, and just like just getting dissed and like their culture getting dissed, and they're just like, oh my God, like, you know, it's like their ancestors are coming out and like, yeah, so it's just like, you know, it's just like not the thing to do, is it? Like you don't walk up to a Māori dude and be like racist to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think it's really good that isn't really part of the culture anymore. Like it's more about bars and crafting like smart words and being technical than kind of being like, your mum's fat and I hate your culture, you know? It was like, back then it was like, oh my God, like being the guy that runs it, just like standing in the stage ready to like, jump on stage and break up a potential fight. So I think it's really good that it's more about like what people say now, like as in like using their brain and like being smarter than the other person. Yeah.
Because, man, when I think about, because I love hip hop.
Yeah.
I'm more East Coast.
Oh yeah.
Anything else, but man, just that freestyle always impresses me.
Yeah.
That they can just come off like off the cuff and say these kind of things. Like Black Thought.
Yeah.
Like that guy, he's the man.
He's crazy, right? Yeah.
He's the man. He can go on for ages.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Was it like his one on Funk Flex?
Yeah,
He did a couple of years ago, and it's like 9 minutes. Or,
yeah, that's right.
Damn.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, no, he's mean with it, and
Logic, that guy.
Yeah,
he's the man too.
Yeah,
like it always impresses me the freestyle thing and just how they can just say it off the bat, you know.
Yeah.
And but the battle rap is cool too because that's you have to be specific.
Yeah.
To the other person, and that's kind of hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And unless you practice and have bars,
yeah, it becomes like something easy. Like when you think of like rap, you kind of like when you've been battle rapping, you kind of think of like battle rap bars. But when you start, you're kind of like back in the days, like when people used to like rap at parties, it was like a big cipher, you know, and that's kind of like how your mind worked about like I'm the dopest. You know, I'm the best, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like battle rap is the opposite where you'd be like, you suck, you know? And it's like something you have to train your mind, you know? Yeah.
I love those raps about I'm the man and I'm the best.
Yeah.
Like BRG he was awesome at that.
Yeah, and it's good to see the whole cypher thing is coming back, like, and like going viral through like Funk Flex and there's a bunch of shows now that like, you know, they upload their videos to YouTube and dudes are like trying to be like the best lyricist and they're like trying to go for like the longest and that. You're like, oh, this dude went for 11 minutes, you know? It's really cool. It's good to see.
I like the ciphers there. Like I think BT and Salmon they have those ciphers in between.
They have the ciphers where it's like a group of people, right? That's really cool. Yeah.
The one I saw was cool was the black and white one with Nicki Minaj.
Oh yeah, is that one of the recent ones?
Eminem was last.
Oh yeah,
but Eminem's verse, man.
Yeah,
he was fire, man.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Eminem. I think like him just being a white dude. Like when I started rapping, I was like rapping at parties and that, and people were like, "Stop rapping," you know. Like, and then I was like rapping on like I was getting that so much. I started rapping on like American websites and that, and then like. When people like found out I was white, they're like, you shouldn't even rap and that. And then like, I or way back then, all the white rappers like sucked too. Like Vanilla Ice was like someone who comes to mind, you know. I was like, oh, maybe it's not for me. And then like dudes like Eminem and Bubba Sparks came out, who are like, I was massive fans of both of them, just more or less just because they were white and they were dope, you know. And I was like, oh, yeah, we can do this, you know. And now it's just like so normal for white dudes to be accepted in hip hop, you know, which is really cool.
Because I remember when Eminem first came out, and to me, I didn't remember him as a lyricist, because he came out with those quirky comedy sort of songs, Like, I think it was My Name Is? That was his first hit, But he came off the back of Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre was producing his stuff first there. But, and D12, was part of them too. And I remember, but I can't remember when I first realized that he was the man. And I think it might have been Stan.
Oh yeah, that's a really good song, Like the storytelling in that is crazy. You know?
And the storytelling stuff, like that's why I love B.I.G. To me, B.I.G. is my ultimate.
Oh yeah,
he's the man. Like his storytelling and his metaphors and all that. It's out the gate, man. And just the way he puts his words together, like that is a true lyricist. And one of my favorite songs, B.I.G. songs, he's a guest spot on that Craig Mack. Flavor in Your Ear.
Yeah.
His verse. Have you listened to his verse?
He kills like.
Man, that is the worst. Because what got me was when he goes, because he's talking about he's a man, right? And that line when he says, "Oh, I got more butts than ashtrays." You know, even that little thing. You know, I get more butts than ashtrays. And he's talking about how you shouldn't rap because you're useless. You shouldn't rap. Don't be mad. UPS is hiring.
Oh, yeah.
Go find another job.
For me, like, to measure like a rapper is like I showed my parents, and they actually listened to it, and I'm like, this. Like, I already knew like dudes like Eminem, Biggie, Tupac, Nas. Nas is like my favorite. Rapper ever, you know, and like showed that to like my mum and my dad when I was like a teenager, and they're like, this is like, they hate hip hop, you know, like not my dad so much, but like my mum and my stepdad, they don't like rap at all, and they actually like listen to it and like listen to the lyrics properly, and we're like, this guy's actually really good. That's kind of like when you know someone's like GOAT status, is when someone who like hates hip hop can actually admit like, oh, this guy's talented, you know. Yeah.
Because who are you like listening to?
Nas is like,
what was your favorite sort of Nas?
I think Stillmatic is like the greatest album.
That's like a classic,
in history of music in my mind. I was like into Eminem, but like it wasn't really cool to be like an Eminem fan, you know. But I was always like a hardcore Eminem fan. Before that, I was like a hard out Cannabis fan. Like, I just kind of been into like the dudes.
It was like a one-hit wonder kind of guy. He came and disappeared.
Yeah, more or less that 2000 BC album. I was like in high school when that dropped.
Because wasn't that a beef he had with LL Cool J?
Yeah.
And LL Cool J sort of won. I think that's why he disappeared.
Yeah. And then he like came back and battled Disaster.
Oh, did we really?
Yeah. And I was like, he got body bagged, and like he had like a sling on his arm, and Disaster said this line: "It's quite ironic that you got that sling on because you've always needed an arm to lean on." Oh man, it was crazy. And then like Cannabis was like choking, and he's like pulled out a rhyme book in the third round, and he's like, I want to start my shit all over again. He's like, I want the crowd to hear me. He's like, I've got 30 pages in this motherfucker. And the crowd was like booing in that. Like, it was really sad because like I was like a massive Cannabis fan. I was always into like technical hip hop.
Yeah.
And like Diz is like the bro, but like I was like, I wanted it to be like a debatable, and like Diz just hammered him. I was like, oh, it was sad. It was a sad day for like, it was a great day for battle rap, but it was a sad day for hip hop, you know?
Yeah. Man, I I always rate the 90s, eh?
Yeah, that was like the golden era of hip hop, right? Like, yeah.
Because I was a big fan of Bad Boy Entertainment.
Oh yeah,
because when that East Coast East Coast West Coast thing came out,
yeah,
because I was a fan of Death Row
yeah.
before Tupac.
Oh yeah,
Like I was a fan of Snoop and all those guys.
yeah,
But then when the East Coast West Coast thing was going on,
yeah,
like I felt like I had to choose a side because I was a big B.I.G. fan.
yeah,
So I actually chose B.I.G.
yeah,
and I didn't like any Tupac stuff.
yeah,
But I did it purposely
yeah.
because of the fact of the East Coast West Coast.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I was like not the biggest Tupac fan. Like
Yeah.
when he was relevant, when he was alive, when he was dropping his music, and like that was like when I was at boarding school, and like heaps of my friends were like, "Don't you live in West Auckland though?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I don't really like Tupac." But then like as I got a bit older, it was just like a thing of like it was just too raw for me. And I was like, man, that guy's like crazy, you know? And then I kind of started getting into gangster rap, and I was like, oh man, this guy's awesome, you know? Yeah.
Because when G-Funk dropped, man, I loved it, man. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved Warren G and those guys.
Rest in peace, Nate Dogg. Like,
oh man,
man,
the son's coming up, eh? Nate
Yeah,
Dogg's son.
it sounds like him too, eh?
What's his name? I forgot his name, but he did a song with Snoop.
Yeah,
around the video clips around the grave.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah,
But that's a mean.
nah.
That's a mean gem.
Yeah, because he's like the hook master, eh? You know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So the son's actually following in the dad's footsteps.
Yeah, and
kinda
so is Big Pun's son as well, eh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's like skinny, but he's like raps exactly like him. Yeah, yeah. It's like does the like the crazy technical and Pun was like one of my favorite dudes as well. Yeah, just because like that was like the whole style I was into, and then like becoming a rapper myself, like I'll be like, man, I want to be like really basic and catchy, like dudes like Jadakiss and that, but it was just it's almost like my mind had just been trained into like thinking of like long technical words, you know, because of that's what I had listened to for years, and I'd be like, man, I wish I could make a really basic, catchy chorus, but just never really could, you know? Yeah.
Well, that was sort of like the big difference between East Coast and West Coast. Like the gangster rap stuff.
Yeah.
And the West Coast had a nice hook.
Yeah. Yeah.
Had sultry beats and that kind of the G-Funk kind of stuff. Eh? And even the slow kind of stuff. But the East Coast, to me, that's why I love the East, because of the words.
Yeah, technical writing.
And all that kind of stuff. Like, I really love, like I said, B.I.G., but I really love like the different genres they came out of. They came out of New York. Like I really like the soul stuff. Like or the jazz.
Yeah,
the jazz stuff.
Yeah, like Jay-Z's used a lot of those kind of samples in there. Yeah,
but more like Tribe Called Quest. And, and De La Soul.
Yeah.
Those guys like. Is it the Jungle Brothers? Jungle Brothers.
Oh yeah.
That kind of jazzy, kind of New York. I love that stuff, man. That was cool.
Not me.
But all the different stuff. Like I was a big fan of Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
Because
hard.
That was like when they came out. Man, I never heard anything like it.
Yeah, that was like the high school days as well. Like everyone was like walking around trying to be like Wu-Tang and trying to dress like them in there. Yeah,
And that was and what's cool about Wu-Tang Clan, because they were a group. And they had all these different artists that came together. Wu-Tang Clan, but went away did their own stuff. Yeah, and that was pretty cool. Yeah. And with their logo and all that. Did you watch the Wu-Tang Clan saga?
Yeah, it's really good.
That's
and
mean,
like it explains like a lot of stuff you'll never know being a New Zealander. Like that's the thing about like hip hop. It's like being American. It's probably like common knowledge, a lot of that stuff, and like kind of getting like the backstory to. You know, like I think more rappers need to do movies and documentaries and series, because it's just so entertaining, you know? And I'm waiting for series 3.
Series 3. But man, I really appreciate these stories, these backstories on Wu-Tang Clan, even the NWA movie.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, these guys just came out of school with nothing.
Yeah.
Created these songs. And look how much they've blown up around the world.
Yeah, and got like famous and become like millionaires and that, yeah.
And they're from poor areas.
Yeah.
Look where Wu-Tang came from. Like, like on Staten Island, the projects in there.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing about the Wu-Tang, when it first started, like the first episode, were you like having trouble like figuring out who was who?
Yeah,
because they like don't look like. I was like, who is who? Like, and it did take me a little while to figure it all out.
Especially that they were especially Ghostface Killer and Rick One. Like
they had like the mean beef,
different gangs, or something, Like, and they were shooting each other.
Yeah, and shot up the parents' house and that. Yeah.
But the thing we can relate to, because they all love hip hop, right?
Yeah,
and they'll come to the RZA because he's the guy making the beats. And he's passionate about beats. And so they all come to him.
Yeah, and they all needed him, right?
Yeah. And then, man, he made them go on the boat, remember? To join up.
Yeah, like trick them into...
Wow, like...
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing that, you can make something out of nothing. The whole hip-hop culture, like, African-American culture, like, coming out of that, like, exploding around the world.
Yeah.
I mean, man.
Yeah.
It's a commodity that sadly, gets abused,
Yeah.
With the record labels back then and all that.
And how people now are like trying to buy their masters and that.
Yeah.
And they're talking about like making like 1 cent out of like $1 and stuff. You're like, whoa, like that's crazy, right? Yeah.
But man, that always amazes me. Like, but it also tells me that it can happen anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I know what song or anything that we can create here and then blow up around the world.
Yeah.
Like, does it have to be something like a hip hop, or can it be something brand new no one's ever seen before? Yeah,
it can be anything, but like one thing I've noticed about New Zealand is like there's just not enough like funding or whatever. Like anything in New Zealand, we like do like it's popping in America, like New Zealand Idol, for example, and it's just like nothing compared to American Idol,
Yeah.
Like,
but if you think of Australia and the drill music scene over there, like that popped off.
Yeah, because
it's died down now, but
but it was great. It was like Australian hip hop was kind of like. Battle rap was really the only thing I was feeling in Australian hip hop because of the accent, and drill almost became like 90s hip hop, like really basic, really gangster kind of rhymes, and the accent worked. I don't know if it's because of the people who were doing it, mostly Pacific, but like in the start I was kind of like, I don't know if I like this, but then it's just like pumped into your ears so much that I was like, no, this is really cool, Yeah. And man, you see like HP Boys would come to mind, and they're like selling out shows in New Zealand and doing Australian tours and like actually making money. Like, good on them. And heaps of that drill stuff was dope,
So that sort of exploded sort of the same way on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
But in sort of the same way NWA and Wu-Tang Clan exploded, but not that big. Because Joe, I understand Joe came from Chicago, south side of Chicago.
Oh yeah,
and then the England.
Yeah.
I
I like the UK hip hop.
The UK one,
it's blowing up at the moment. Like it's become quite commercialized. Like that dude who does the song with the Ashanti sample.
Oh.
See,
that's the thing, I'm not familiar with the new hip hop stuff.
I do listen to the radio a bit. So there's a bunch of like UK artists that have become like, they're almost like that drill kind of style, but they've become really commercialized, and it's like getting radio play, and they got like videos and that, and it's really good to see, because I liked UK hip hop back with what's that dude's name? He had that song, Witness the Fitness. Like, it's all about living. It's like, like old school as UK hip hop, It's just, I don't know, there's just something about their voice that really suits rapping over a beat, Yeah.
Because the accent thing is funny, because I don't think New Zealand pulled it off as much.
Nah.
I think when New Zealand hip hop was really building up, with Scribe and all that.
Yeah.
Even Scribe didn't really have a New Zealand accent. He didn't get out of, not like David Dallas. You can tell New Zealand accent.
Yeah, he like pronounces his New Zealand words like.
Yeah, and it's funny because I feel like New Zealanders just didn't get used to it. Yeah, because we're used to the American.
Yeah.
But then the Australians, the drill guys, they stuck to their accent, but it works for them. Yeah. So I can't understand. Yeah. So it's funny how things work out. Yeah, and it's always something that kind of gets brought up in New Zealand hip hop, like from other countries, it's like your guy's accent, it doesn't work, and that's something that was really good about battle rap, like accent and rhythm and flow and all of that stuff that kind of like people get like dissed for in music. It doesn't matter. It's just about like what you say, really. Yeah. So when I think about Poetic, like he's got American accent, but because he has American accent, like it's not like he's acting. This is his accent for real. Like, and his latest song is blowing up, eh? Yeah, he's got a few. 685. 685, yeah. And because of like the World Cup and that, like man, it's blowing up hard. And he already was before that, but it's like real strategic marketing to have like that song come out like perfect timing while Samoa are doing their World Cup run. I was like, man, that's so smart, And that's the kind of thing, like, I mentioned this on another podcast about that song and how, good timing for the World Cup. But also in the TikTok sense where, every time you go on TikTok and there's background music. Yeah. And there's always you pick the song, everyone picks the song that suits the video. Yeah. And there's songs that suit multiple videos. Yeah. Like hard. That. Oh no. Yeah. Like you can put that on heaps of things. Yeah, hard. Or the That's My Uso, that song. Yeah. Like any video. Yeah, that blew up on TikTok. Or any other songs that I feel, that's why I think like they're trying to get into the TikTok realm, create a song that could go with any kind of video. Once it's on TikTok and you can use it on TikTok, Yeah. And that's how people are like actually blowing up these days. It's not about putting it on YouTube or whatever. It's about becoming a feature on TikTok. Like the bros are Ghostlight Records, one of them battles, and what's the bro's name? He makes music and he makes songs about being moldy. And I can't remember exactly how his song goes, but it's almost like a remake of like an old song, but it's about being moldy. And like that was on TikTok and everyone was using it and they were like doing kapahaka actions and that. And like it blew up so hard. Yeah. But then probably the thing you want it to do then is like take it from TikTok onto other platforms, like Spotify and Yeah. So I don't know what that does though. Like, how do you do that? Or what's the transition like? Yeah, I wouldn't have a clue. But because it's like weird, right? Because then you're only familiar with the chorus. Yeah. Because obviously they make the chorus to relate to any video that's out there. Yeah, and I'd say it probably happens naturally for like Americans, right? Because they've just got so many platforms and like radio stations and stuff like that. But in New Zealand, how do you make that happen, Yeah. I think with any sort of platform and any sort of business you're running or event you're running, I think nowadays you really got to be onto it with the technology, Yeah. And the trends. Yeah. Like what people are using. Yeah. Because that's a big deal, Yeah, and it's something like I've never really been good at, like technology and like things like kids are into and that. Yeah. What are the young people into? Yeah, I'm not the youngest myself, so it's like how do you go viral without kind of knowing about all that kind of stuff, Yeah. Because what I feel like I know now is the attention span is short for a lot of people, especially the younger ones, Yeah. Like they want to see it and hear it. Yeah. But they'll lose attention. They want a quickly. Reel, They don't want a YouTube video. They want a reel or a 15-second TikTok, Yeah. So it's how to engage or how to use your content to engage these people that have different way of looking at stuff now. Yeah. And I think it's going to change every generation. Like I think 10 years from now it's going to change again.
Yeah,
So
hard out, bro. Yeah.
I don't know what's going to be next time, like 1 second attention span or something. Or if YouTube's going to be, because it changes. Because I know in Samoa, like Facebook is the main social media. Like every person in Samoa uses Facebook, but don't use anything else.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
And it used to be like that here, right?
Yeah.
It's
now
kind
it's
of
sort
changing.
of Instagram.
Yeah.
I know Twitter's big in America, but not anywhere else. Not here, eh?
Yeah, like I only know one person who has like a popping Twitter out of all the rappers I know, So, but I noticed a lot of people are like using Insta now instead of Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah, Insta's a weird one too.
Yeah, I don't find my Insta pops much.
No, it's a hard one when it comes to followers and that, because the followers are another different thing too. Eh? The followers on TikTok are different to the followers on anywhere else.
Yeah, and I feel like Insta's like a consistency thing. Like I've never really used my Insta like that. Like I like post on my Insta every once in a while,
Right.
And it's just like you're easily forgotten about unless you're just like I see other
it.
people who have a good following and they just like use their Insta every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried to read about how to use Insta like the way they want it, because obviously it's something about they help you if you use all their stuff, all their tools.
Yeah.
So you know how they got stories, and then they got posts, and they got reels, and they got live.
Yeah.
Like it says like if you use all 4 of these, like at least once a week, but all 4 of them, they'll help you get things
they'll
out.
push you. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the other thing I heard, like, because during the mayor elections we just had, like I had some candidates for the local board on the podcast, and they try to get out there with using social media. They use the boost thing.
Oh, yeah.
Once you use the boost thing, the social media platform won't promote you.
Oh,
because they know you're going to use the boost.
Because they know you're going to pay for. Oh,
they want to make you pay for the boost, so
they
won't
have to keep using it.
Yeah, so they won't they won't naturally boost your stuff like normally.
Yeah,
they'll just hold it back.
That's tricky as
because you use the boost. I was like, fuck, that's sad. So don't use the boost, otherwise they're gonna stop you from going out there. So if you use the boost all the time.
Yeah, I've had heaps of people for 1outs be like, "Oh, I can become like your marketing manager," and they're like, "All you need to do is just boost your posts." And I'm like, "Oh, how does that make you a marketing manager when like I could just do it myself?" And I've never really been into like paying, and I know lots of people who do use that, and it's like it just kind of results in attention, not sales. Yeah, so. Even
the sharing stuff, like, do you get people sharing?
Yeah, not so much anymore, but we used to a lot. Like, used to. We've had like things with like over 100 shares, and that's kind of how it pumps out. Like, yeah.
So I know you guys do the whole video. Like for me in the podcast, like I cut them up sometimes to get the best bits and put them up there.
Yeah.
So that's what you guys do as well? Or?
I've really just been doing that on TikTok, and we used to do it a bit, but it's just like a thing of like how Suda is at the moment. He's like our editor, and we've got like a backlog of videos. People are like, where are the videos from the ISO bars, which was our event before lockdown,
Yeah.
So it's like he's super busy with like work and that. So
so you got a backlog.
Yeah. So like I couldn't exactly be like, oh, I want you to cut up these little videos, and he'll be like, oh, I haven't even done, But it's definitely something that that works, in today's day and age, is like just having like highlights. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even like sport. Like I used to watch like every single rugby game, every single league game, and now a lot of the games I just wait till the next day and watch the highlights on YouTube. It's just become a way of life for everyone, Yeah.
Who you follow in NRL? Who's your team?
I like the Broncos.
Oh yeah.
I've always been a Broncos fan because that's like who my old man liked. But yeah, I'm like a Warriors. Yeah, kind of like yeah. They're actually the reason why I kind of like stopped watching League.
All right.
Yeah,
And
but
made you stop.
just recently I started getting back into it.
Yeah.
Since my son started playing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's like a hard-out Panthers fan.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, and I'm like, you just like the Panthers because they're the best. And he's like, no, I even like the Panthers before they won. You know, like, lies. What about you?
I'm Manly Seagulls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's I was spoken about this before. It's like it's a team that my parents supported when I was young.
Yeah,
when I was a kid.
and that's what I really like. Like, a lot of people just be like, oh, I like Panthers. I like Golden State Warriors and basketball. Like a lot of Kiwis just like the team that's winning.
Yeah,
a lot of Kiwis be like, I used to support New South Wales. Now I support Queensland. You know? It's like you can't swap, bro.
You can't swap. And then, and you know, back in the Winfield Cup days, like the reason why my parents supported Manly Seagulls because there were a lot of Kiwis in it.
Yeah,
playing that team because the New Zealand Warriors weren't invented yet.
Yeah.
So and Graham Lowe was there too.
Yeah,
you know, so he was coach. So that was why we supported that team.
Yeah,
and Matthew Ridge was there too. So
yeah, he was. Yeah.
So that was the reason why. But it's funny because at that time it was the Broncos. They were winning every year.
Yeah.
They were like the Melbourne Storm.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah, and that's why my old man liked the Broncos. It's like he liked them before they were good, but he was like a hard out Wally Lewis fan.
Yeah.
And then like when Wally Lewis retired, he was like, I just remember like I was like young and he was watching Origin, and I was like asking. I finally kind of was like, I seen like the tackles in it, and I was like thinking, oh, this is like wrestling kind of, you know. And then I was asking him about it, and he was like, see this son, Queensland. He's like, yeah, they're awesome. He's like, see this fella, Alan Langer. He's like, look at this, you know. And he's like, showed me like Steve Renoff and like dudes like that, you know. And I was like, oh, just instantly was just like Brisbane, Queensland, you know.
Yeah. They were like the Melbourne Storm back then.
Yeah. I think they won like 3 in a row.
Yeah. They were always up there.
Oh no, I maybe not 3 in a row. I think they won like 2 in a row, like twice, like real close with one loss between or something.
Yeah. And then when the Warriors came, I never changed. Oh wait, I did kind of change because they were Auckland Warriors. Yeah. And me being an Auckland, I'm Auckland through and through. So any team from Auckland I support, man. Yeah. But when they changed to New Zealand, nah.
I remember I was like supporting the Broncos in their very first game, but I still like liked the Warriors and that. They had a real mean team back then, but I don't know what's going on lately. and heaps over the years. It's just like, they lost by 2 points again. You know, like And
I wonder if they win.
They still haven't won a premiership. Like they come second.
Yeah, they've come second a couple of times, but I had this take before, like they should be based over in Australia. Oh yeah, because one of the problems is they can't get good players. Yeah, they'll either if they're gonna get good players, they'll be past their prime. Yeah, you know, and Australians don't want to come over and live over here. Yeah, you know, you get guys like Price that came over, but he was like finished with the Bulldogs. You know, he's sort of, you know. Yeah, and we've got heaps of good players, and they just haven't been that great. Like, or they started really good, and then they just kind of like fell off. Probably because they're like, you know, like when we were over there because of COVID, probably like the same thing. They're like living away from home, you know, and then they'd leave. They just burn us, Or even sometimes, like when players leave the Warriors to go play for Australia, they get better.
Yeah, and then they come back and they burn us, Like
right now, it's players. Isaiah Papali'i right now. He's the man over there. Yeah. For Parramatta. Yeah. You know, he just came off the bench for the New Zealand Warriors. And then when I remember back in the days with Nigel Vanganan, like, you know, he went to Bulldogs. Yeah. And then he became the number one centre in all of rugby. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
This must be a graveyard for for NRL players. Bro, man. So what's coming up the next few weeks for you and what else?
We really have no plans at the moment. Like, we don't really do events in December. So we were like trying to squeeze in one more event, but December's always like a hard month because people are like going on holiday and like have family stuff because of like Christmas, and so we're just kind of taking a rest, and I'm just kind of hoping Suda does some editing, because we've only dropped one battle from ISO bars, so we got like another 7 battles to come, and then we got 7 battles from lockdown to drop. So just really dropping battles and planning something for next year. We have a battle that got postponed. Is Alenzo versus Papa Mac. Alenzo's the current champion, and Papa Mac is the #1 contender. So that's obviously going to be our main event of what comes next. But at the moment, I'm just kind of not too sure where 1 ounce in New Zealand battle rap is, you know? Yeah, so...
How would you find out? Was it just having events and seeing who turns up? And
yeah, just more or less...
who responds to your social media posts? And
rebuilding and almost after COVID, it's like starting all over again. Yeah, so we still have a league, we still have a following, but it's just not what it used to be, unfortunately. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe just... I would think, like, for you guys, just concentrate on the following.
Yeah.
Just
build hype, you know. Yeah. And
build off the following.
Yeah.
Like the following are the ones that the followers now and the first tier guys now, they're like committed. You know, just I think off the back of these guys, then you can rebuild.
Yeah.
Like at least you got a platform. At least you got a starting point.
Yeah.
That's solid. A solid foundation.
Yeah.
To go over. It doesn't matter how small it is. At least it's something.
Yeah, and we have like. It sucks when people retire. They're like, oh, I don't want to battle anymore, like, especially if they're really good. And we have, like, a bunch of people that are like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to battle. But, like, a couple of the guys who are, like, really good are like, I'm probably not going to battle, but I want to become staff and help make the league better. So I'm like, oh, well, that's... At least you're not just leaving and disappearing, you know, which I think will be really good because they have quite... good followings as well, and it seems like they have some quite good ideas. As I said earlier, I need some help, so that's great that people are starting to put their hands up again. You know,
have you been around to Surrey Crescent lately?
Nah,
they've got this boxing ring in the corner there at the lights.
Oh yeah,
just out in the open.
Oh true.
Like I don't know if you know Surrey Crescent when you come up. The Greyland shops, and there's in the corner there used to be a car dealership. Yeah. Well, the cars are all gone, but there's a boxing ring there.
Oh, true.
It's outside.
Oh, wow.
Like, man, it'd be cool if you had an event in that boxing ring.
Yeah, because there's a league in America called Queen of the Ring, and it's like a female battle league, and they do it in like a boxing gym. And even before Queen of the Ring, I always thought it would be like really cool to do like an event in like a boxing ring because it's called 1 ounce and that, you know. I thought it would be a really cool idea, and maybe this will be a way to kind of make it happen, then kind of hiring a boxing gym, which I've inquired about, and they've been kind of weird about it, you know. Because like just because like people not boxing in a boxing ring type of thing, you know.
Right. Do you get much females come through?
We have honestly, it used to be such a sausage fest, you know, like but we do have females coming through, and we've had like a bunch of female battle rappers in the past. We had Scripture make her return at the last event. We've had Raw Thought, who's like she's from Avondale, and she's like always been like one of the best. Like she battled Alenzo in a non-title match at Revival, and like a lot of people said she won and that she would be the champion if it was a title match. I don't really agree. I think Alonso edged that battle, but she is really good. Like, she's like almost like spoken word.
Right.
Yeah. She's really tight, and we've had a few females here and there, but not as many as like I feel there should be. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So, spoken word. Have you been to one of those?
One of the bros, he's like, a bunch of the bros do spoken word. Dude, Haru Specs, who like went to the UK and lived there and battled over there, he was like the New Zealand champion at one point.
Right.
And the bro Lazy Eye, which is quite an ironic name because he actually has a lazy eye, and he just like embraces it, which is so cool, you know. He does spoken word hard out, and he like always enters all the spoken word stuff, and like he's like he's really good at it, and he's like really good at battling. It's quite similar, battle rap and spoken word, you know. Yeah.
Because I've seen some events and some bars where have spoken word now.
Yeah, like a lot of people at the spoken word events are like almost rappers, eh? You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I can see there's some kind of art form, and like they can use it.
I should like start attending and like poaching.
Find some new
bro.
new battle rappers there. So, do you guys come up with like themes like West versus South Auckland, West Auckland, North Shore?
We've done some in the past. We've done old school versus new school.
Yeah.
We've done New Zealand versus Australia twice. We've even done Freddy Krueger versus Jason.
What's that one?
It was just one battle, but one guy dressed up as Freddy Krueger and the other dude dressed up as Jason Voorhees, and they were like pretended to be them, which that in other countries is massive, but over here it's like, I don't know, New Zealand's just different. Everyone's like, that's corny, bro. Like, they even dressed up, It was like, it didn't really work out here. Yeah. But I thought it was cool. I thought it was really cool. Yeah.
I really like the reason why I brought up the South Auckland versus West Auckland thing, because one of the things I always think about when it comes to New Zealand sports is the lack of tribalism we have. Yeah. Because that sets up a monetizing thing. Yeah. Like in American sports. Like I'm always a big fan of American sports because the way that they have that sports culture there, they're so passionate about it. Yeah. They spend their money. Like crazy.
Yeah, and even we like wear American clothing more than we wear New Zealand clothing, right?
Exactly. Because that comes from somewhere, not from. Yeah. It doesn't come from nothing. It comes from the fact that we identify with the American sort of sporting culture. Yeah. And we want to be a part of it.
Yeah, and even so many people like rock gears that they don't even know who that team is, Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I remember when I was in Hawaii, and I went to a place called Lids where they get we buy caps. Yeah. So I bought all these different sorts of caps. Yeah. And I wore it every time. A different one every day. Yeah. And people were like always, hey man, go Bears or go whatever, because my cap. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, yes. Yeah. And then I wear a different cap, and then the different people go, go whatever. Like, yeah. So I'm like, oh, what team do I support? I'm like, it's just a fashion thing. Yeah, it's not.
I like this one looks cool, But
so if I wear like two teams, people get confused. Like, who you support? Yeah. Why you support two teams for? Like, it's like NRL if we wear Warriors and then something else on our heads. Like, people think we're crazy, but that comes from somewhere. That it's that culture that we buy into. Yeah. And I think this is what New Zealand lacks. And I think if you think about New Zealand Warriors fans, right? They're the craziest fans of any team. Yeah. More than Super Rugby, the All Blacks. All Blacks are different because we're crazy when the All Blacks are playing, and then after that, nah. Yeah. But we're not crazy like that we're not crazy like that to the All Blacks like we are to the Blues. Yeah. But the New Zealand Warriors fans, they're crazy. Yeah. because that comes from the NRL and that sporting. Australia has that similar sporting culture to America.
Yeah.
Where they're passionate about their teams.
Yeah.
They're passionate about where they're from, where they represent. So you want to be part of that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the secret. And that's why I was saying, like, you've gone, the 1 ounce thing's gone into the sports realm.
Yeah.
But if you tap into that same kind of thing, like if you put out things like where you're from, like South Auckland versus West Auckland.
Yeah.
You're gonna make people be, they're gonna come in and invest there because that's their identity.
Yeah.
And if you tap into their identity, people are gonna buy into it.
And cultures too, eh?
And cultures,
yeah,
and all
because
that kind of
that's
stuff.
something that's really big in New Zealand, right? It's like,
Yeah.
Māori or Samoan battle rapper, like I always find the cultures, certain cultures are more supported in hip hop and battle rap.
Yeah.
Because their culture it's just part of the culture, like Māori battle rappers, Tongan and Samoan, for example, like they have bigger fan bases because it's part of the culture to support your people,
Especially the Samoan thing when you saw the flags around
Yeah.
the Toa Samoa and the World Cup.
Yeah, I had to drop my bro to Mangere.
Yeah.
I was staying in Roscoe. He was like, "Oh, could you drop me to Mangere, bro?" And I was like, "Oh no!" And then we were going there, and he was like, "Oh, it's probably better if you take the airport in Kirk Douglas, I think it's called."
Stuck in traffic.
And then we went that way, and then I went back the other way, Massey Road, is it?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, I might stop at the bakery because I know there's a mean bakery down there." And then I was just like, boom, like traffic and no one, like I honestly felt like the only person who cared about being stuck in traffic. Like everyone else was just like beep beep beep, like going crazy, and I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna, as soon as I get to that motorway, I'm just out of here,
Yeah.
I'm going back to West, And then I went through Henderson, and man,
same thing.
it was crazy, but it's awesome as well, like to see. Maybe that's what the Warriors lack, Yeah.
I think they don't lack it. I think they just haven't been winning. But even when they lose, like the fans are still hard out.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. And that's what you want.
Yeah.
Win or lose, you want the fans to have that same energy.
Yeah.
Like my criticism for the parades and that was, where was that energy when we were losing?
Yeah.
Where was that energy when,
Yeah, because it started with Tonga, Like when Tonga got all their guys that could have played for Australia or New Zealand picked to play for Tonga, And then it was just like the Red Sea.
Yeah, the Red Sea. Yeah. Because of course they got the good players now. They got a chance. So of course they're gonna get the support.
Yeah.
But if we're losing, the support's still there. They got a chance. But
I was like, man, we need to make some like flags, like like the flag, but like make it like with like a tribal design on it or something, because like someone could capitalize on that so mean and like make so much money, Like it's like, oh, do you really want to do that though? But like I was like, so many flags that someone could just make like a cooler looking flag, and then that would be like the flag everyone's flying on their car. Like I'm like, man, someone needs to like capitalize on this and become a millionaire,
Can you imagine all the flags the Chinese guys sold? And
they're the ones making all the money, right?
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is I was driving on the motorway and I was stuck in peak hour traffic, and there was so many Samoan flags on the side of the motorway, like they had fallen off cars in there. Like so many. I was like, damn, they need to send someone to clean all these up. Like, it's just flags everywhere, And some of them were like, especially when I went into Mangere, it was like a big Jeep or something, and it's like 30 flags on one vehicle. I was like, whoa, passionate. Like, some on the hugest poles in that, bro. It was like,
Someone crazy, like the biggest flags. And wow.
Some were like people driving, and they're like driving like that. I was like, oh man, this guy's gonna get pulled up.
But that week before that last game, the final, like they're all sold out.
Yeah.
So if the Chinese people knew it was gonna be this big, they would have stocked up ages ago.
Yeah.
Because now the game's over. It's funny still seeing the flags out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if they got the stock in, but no one bought because the game's over.
Yeah, and it was like all of Pacifica, right? Like it wasn't just Samoans rocking the Samoan flag. Like so many people. I was like, oh, you're not Samoan, and they're like had the flag on their cast too. It was just like it became a Pacific thing, right? You know, it was good. It was awesome. Yeah, Kiwis need that kind of support.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I wanna try to do more. I think this podcast is trying to get stuff out there. Like talking to people and try to build a culture again.
Yeah.
Something.
No, that's awesome, bro.
Something we lack. You know, if we lack something, then try to get it out there. Yeah,
because really, like, in anything in New Zealand, there's not many people like putting in work. You know, like you're doing your podcast. There aren't many podcasts. I'm doing the Battle Rap League. There's really no other battle rap leagues in New Zealand. There has been some here and there, but like no one's really putting in that mahi. You know. Like,
yeah. And we do have a small market. We don't have, 4 million people here in New Zealand?
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people, they kind of start, they have like this huge plan of like blowing up, and then it doesn't work out, and they just kind of like fall off, you know?
Yeah, I sort of break down the numbers, because I got a mate that wanted to start like a fit club.
Oh, yeah.
So a place where you get the community come exercise.
Yeah.
So he wanted to make a lot of money out of it.
Yeah.
So I was like breaking down the numbers for him, right? I was thinking, okay, there's 4 million people in New Zealand, close to 2 million live in Auckland. Who's your market? Like Pacific people, okay. If you look it up, 300,000 Pacific people live in Auckland. How many in West Auckland? Look it up, the number's going down and down every time, you know?
Yeah.
So how many people live in Henderson? Numbers going down and down, okay. So if you're going to charge everyone $1, you're only going to get this much.
Yeah.
And who knows who's to say that this amount of people will come? So all of what you can break it down like that.
Yeah, but it's something people do spend money on at least. People will spend like a lot of money on fitness. You know, health has become something massive. So
but you're limited to like this is the place you're gonna have it.
Yeah,
don't expect people from South Auckland to drive all the way.
Yeah,
so
and that's the thing why
so numbers are going down and down every time you look at it.
Yeah, and that's the thing why Butterbean's doing so well, because he's like all over the country.
Yeah,
now,
he's expanding.
Yeah. So he started South Auckland and then went all over Auckland, and now they're just popping up everywhere. You know. Yeah.
So even that, like you're gonna just you're limited to how many people live here.
Yeah.
And then the demographic, whatever you're targeting, you're limited to that number.
Yeah.
Until you find a way to get to Australia, because that's the next step.
Yeah.
If you get the Australian audience, then there's more numbers there.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's going to be the rest of the world. Like, how do what's that pathway? You know?
Yeah. Probably online, Like
online.
Apps and stuff like that. Which not many Kiwis are doing stuff like
they're
that.
Not
really.
doing. They're not doing it. It's trying to navigate that, trying to understanding these are the sort of, these are the barriers or obstacles we have.
Yeah.
Understand that first, and then how do we push through?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you feel it too, but do you feel like it's hard to get support even through? Because I always hear like on social media, like even people post like it's hard to get support from your own family or friends.
Yeah,
and then tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah, I keep hearing that New Zealand's like the worst country in the world for tall poppy. Yeah, and I've felt that a lot over the years. Like, so many other people like. Because like what I'm doing hip hop, even before I was doing battle rap, I was like the New Zealand freestyle champion. I was like making music, and I felt like a lot of people who were close to me weren't like as proud as they should have been. And then kind of moving into one outs, I feel like a lot of people who have supported me the most are people I don't know from a bar of soap.
Yeah.
And they've actually become like at least an acquaintance or a friend because of how much they've like supported me or the league, and it's crazy. Like it's been over 10 years now, and it's always the same people who are like my really close friends that are like, I'm still going to come one day. Like, I definitely need to come to one event. And I'm like, bro, it's been over a decade. Like, what you been doing, bro? Like, yeah.
I think that's exactly what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
And these are the kind of stories I see on social media.
Yeah.
Especially when people have made it and they say these things.
Yeah.
Like, man, my best friends didn't help me get to where I am.
Yeah.
Or even my family.
Yeah, and you see a lot of memes about stuff like that.
Yeah, you see a lot of memes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I mean, See, my problem, especially when I started the podcast, was having a problem with thinking what other people think.
Yeah.
Like getting out there.
Yeah.
And people scrutinizing it, or people think I'm crazy, or people think I'm useless, or stuff like that. And that gets into my mind.
No, I know that.
And then I don't want to, it makes me don't want to go 100%.
Yeah.
And
I feel a lot of people, that's why they won't even start in New Zealand,
Yeah.
Because they kind of have those same feelings.
Because that's the tall poppy, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, they've experienced that before. They don't want to happen again.
Yeah.
So they won't.
Yeah.
But it took me a while to get over that and just to say, I don't give a fuck what people think.
Yeah, push through. Yeah,
just push through. Just that. Don't think like, who cares about what people think?
Yeah.
And that's the hardest barrier for me anyway.
Yeah. Also, like for myself, I've felt as I get older, those feelings like creep back.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, like, what are people going to think? Like, because, you do get judged a lot when you're in the public eye. And I feel like when you get older, like when you're young, you're like, yeah, woo, people are seeing me. I don't care if it's negative. And then when you get older, you're like, oh, it does affect you a bit. And then like, and people are like, oh, you're still rapping, bro. Like, aren't you 40 now?
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm actually not. Nearly, but, people kind of like, oh, you still dress like that, bro? Like, it's almost like, and you see in America, that's not the case, you know? Like, Ice Cube and Snoop Dogg are like 50 now, and they're like more gangster than ever, Like, they're never going to change the way they are, but in New Zealand, it's kind of like part of the culture to be like, well, you're 30 now, so you should start acting like an adult. And it's like, I am an adult. I'm an adult who likes hip-hop. It's a culture. It's a lifestyle,
But why do we listen to these voices? Yeah, why?
I don't know.
And why does it affect us?
But we do.
I know.
It's some reason we do. Yeah. And even if it's in the back of your mind, like, it's weird, eh? Like, because other times you'll be like, nah, fuck that. Like, this is me. I'm never going to change.
Yeah.
And me recently, like, I'm trying to get back into the workforce, and like, man, I got these tattoos, especially these ones on my fingers and that, and I can see how judged I'm being.
Yeah.
Even just turning up to this course I'm doing in my hat, I can see that I'm being judged. I got told, it was weird because she came up and she was like, aren't you cold wearing those shorts? And I was like, no, I always wear shorts. And she was like, I'm going to give you this website, Dress to Impress and Fix Up and Look Sharp. And I was like, and she was like, it's going to be really good for you when you start getting job interviews. And I was like, here I am thinking, I'm just going to go to a job interview wearing my sports clothing I always wear. And I said that. I said, I just always wear sports clothing. Like, this is me. I don't have a pair of dress pants. If I wear pants, they're track pants. And I just became like that. Kind of like when 1 ounce became, I used to go clubbing in that, and I have to wear jeans and that. And I was like, I want to be comfortable. And now that I'm like trying to get a job again, like a normal job, I'm like, oh, I have to like change my appearance to get a job. It's crazy.
Depends on what field. What field we
like, so into? What I'm doing is security.
Right.
Yes. So
you don't have to dress up for that, did you?
Yeah, I don't know. They reckon I have to I have to go to this place and get like a shirt and dress pants and like leather shoes and that to get a job to go to a job interview. I kind of feel like I don't have to, but it probably would help, right? Like, it's just weird. Like, oh, so I don't. The way to get a job is to not be myself. Just be a completely different person. It's I'm finding it quite weird. Like, it's understandable, but it's weird to me, and I actually feel quite blessed that I've been able to, like, I haven't had a job. I've been a stay-at-home dad for, like, my oldest is 10. So I've been a stay-at-home dad on and off, especially over the last few years, 5 years or so. And doing 1 ounce, I've been doing, like, reselling. Like, I was collecting sneakers, basketball cards lately, like, collectibles and stuff. And, like, I haven't had a job in maybe 15 years, and I feel blessed that like I've been able to survive like under the radar too, you know. But now after COVID and that, it's just like I need to start making a more steady income, you know.
That's actually the dream, to do something you love and
Yeah.
you know, wake up every morning and not be, you know, have to work for someone.
Yeah, and
Be your own boss.
but I feel like I was so petty about it.
What do you mean?
Like I would always rub it in. Like people would be like, "Oh, this is losers live on a Monday morning on Facebook," and I'll be like, "I'm living the dream. Mondays are the best day. I love Mondays. You guys are at work, and that sucks." You know, like I always used to rub it in so much, which is like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that so much. You know.
Oh, that's all right. You can. You can because you know you still got those voices in the back of your head. You know, that's the payback for that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Now I'm going back to work, and it's karma.
See, what I love about what you and you created with the One Outs, that you've filled in a void.
Yeah,
you know that if you guys didn't do it, no one would have done it.
Yeah,
you know, it wouldn't be there, and that's the good thing about being a creative. Like I'm into the creative arts, you know, because it's something that you can. It's something that you invent or create out of nothing, and for other people to enjoy, and that part of it, the getting it out there for people to enjoy. That's, I always think like if you didn't do it, no one would enjoy it.
Yeah.
Or hate it.
Yeah.
Or love it. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because it's out there.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know? And
I kind of had to put myself on the back burner. Like, because I was like, as I say, I was like doing freestyle stuff. And I made an album, you know. Used to make music. I used to have a studio. Used to record other people and stuff. And then, like, when One Out started, like, becoming something, I was like, I just kind of need to become the leader of this and put my energy into this because it was bigger than what I was doing, and I could see the potential, and I was just like, I need to kind of sacrifice what I'm doing because this is going to be, you know,
to make it happen,
so much bigger than what I could ever do myself, you know. And yeah, so I just kind of stopped doing like I still do music and that, and still rap a bit here and there for fun, you know, but I was just like, no, this is going to be way, way bigger and like cement a legacy, you know, than just kind of doing music myself and that. Yeah, so it was a sacrifice, but worth it, you know.
Yeah,
just be like, yeah, I'm like the guy that does this now, you know. Yeah.
Man, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Sure.
And thank you, James, for coming on the podcast today.
No, all good.
Hope you had fun there.
No, it's been good. Like, you kind of think like, is it going to be awkward, you know? But no, it's even like the other interviews and things I've done over the years. It just kind of flows, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been great. And thanks for having me.
No worries, man. But that's the thing, with podcasts. Like, it's big now, because when we started there was not many, at least Pacific Island ones. You know, from that perspective. Now there's a lot.
Yeah, podcasting is like one of the most popular things for entertainment now. Like more people watch podcasts than they watch like movies and stuff like that. Now I feel like podcasting has become more popular than so many entertainment avenues that used to be massive, like the Joe Rogan. Yeah, his podcast is insanely popular, eh?
Yeah.
And I got a friend who does podcasting here. He used to rap, and he started a podcast, and he kind of started doing like New Zealand rappers and underground people. Now he's doing like it's becoming quite big. He's done the guy that created Undertaker's music.
Oh, you're talking about the Kiwi Talk.
Kiwi Talks, yeah.
What's that guy's name?
Reese.
Yeah,
right. That's the bro, and like he's done like
he's an audio engineer.
Yeah. He used to do it at is it Church Unlimited?
Oh right.
Yeah, it's where he started like learning about that stuff, and He's done like, I think he's done like Vegeta's, the person who does Vegeta's voice, and like all sorts of crazy stuff.
I've seen his content. He's done all the scores, guys that do scores overseas, and he's got someone on the podcast.
And he's always been quite a like intelligent person, and he's really good at podcasting because like he does his research and he kind of like asks the right questions and that. And,
because I follow him on Instagram, and I see he came back from India. I think
his wife's Indian. But he's like done politicians and it's like crazy stuff that I'm like, bro, this guy, like, he must be no shame to like hit people up to be on his podcast, you know, like, where that's something I've kind of felt like a bit, I don't like rejection, you know, and people are like, man, you should ask Scribe to battle, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna ask, you know, like, but I have asked a bunch of people and I've said no, but there's like certain people that I'm just like, it's not even worth asking, you know. When I heard Sid Diamond say, I'll only battle for $50,000 or more in one of his songs, I was like, whoa, sheesh.
You should go to America and get that kind of money.
Yeah, but that's the bro. I know Sid and that, but like, he actually said that in one of his songs, and I was like, whoa. He actually judged a freestyle battle that I entered.
Oh yeah,
and he like voted against me in every single battle and was like laughing at me, and I was like, who's saying I lost? I was like, I won that, and he was like laughing in the corner, and I was like, oh, sad guy.
Sure, brother.
Nah, sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, nah, shot, bro. Awesome. Nah, thanks for having me, bro.
No worries, man. And I'll keep looking out for the next event next year.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll get something popping ASAP and start doing some promotion and that.
All right.
Cheers.
Sweet. Thanks, James.
Sweet, brother.
All right.